We have another NHL trade ahead of the NHL deadline here in a few days. We have the Edmonton Oilers beefing up on their bottom six, adding some skill, size, and grit with a couple of players from the Boston Bruins. We'll discuss the details coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have a trade involving the Edmonton Oilers acquiring a couple of pieces here ahead of the NHL trade deadline. And of course, the deal goes down here with the Boston Bruins. The Devils are also involved. Technically, it's a 3-team deal, but for all intents and purposes, it's mostly Edmonton and Boston, with the Devils helping out here with a little bit of salary retention. So we'll break this down into 3 pieces to keep things clear and not complicated at all. So the first part of the trade is the Boston Bruins trade forward Trent Frederic with 50% of his salary retained to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for unsigned prospect Peter Hauser. So that's the first part. So now the Devils have Fredric. So then the second part of the trade is the Devils then retain the additional 50%, so making 75% total of his salary now retained between Boston and New Jersey. They retain and trade him to the Edmonton Oilers for unsigned prospect Scott LaChance. Now, he is a big, 6'5" defenseman playing, I believe, at Boston College of Boston University. So he's a promising prospect for sure. Trade number 3 sees the Bruins then trade Max Jones and Peter Hauser, who they acquired previously, to the Edmonton Oilers for Max Wayner, in the second-round pick, which originally belonged to the St. Louis Blues in 2025, and a fourth-round pick, which originally belonged to the Edmonton Oilers in 2026. So essentially, all in all here, they end up with Trent Frederic with 75% of his salary retained, so they get a cheap Trent Frederic, and they get Max Jones, who's on a cheap contract as well, and has gone through waivers this year. Obviously, Jones is a big boy too, adds size for sure, but not a ton of skill, but grit, size for sure. Frederic maybe not having the season he was hoping for, and obviously with the way things are going in Boston, they're not out of the mix 100% here for playoffs, but clearly not the season they were hoping to have, which has resulted in them making some tough decisions, especially on players that are on expiring contracts. And it was pretty clear for a little bit now that Frederic likely wasn't getting signed with the Bruins. They're also, fielding calls on guys like Morgan Geekie and Brad Marchand to some degree. I'm not sure if the captain's going to be staying with the Bruins or not. We'll have to wait and see. So Frederic's currently injured as well. He's definitely going to be missing a couple of more weeks. There was some talk earlier wondering if Frederic might miss the rest of the regular season. That is unlikely at this point. It seems to be that he's going to be ready to play probably in 2 to 3 weeks' time. So of course with Frederic, he does have some skill. He can score, decent size. We know he's not afraid to fight. He can play a gritty physical style of game. So really good for playoff hockey. So I think he should be a good fit for Edmonton. Jones is a bit of a wild card here. I don't know that they're going to get a lot out of him, but he is another, guy who's got big size and has a decent amount of NHL games under his belt now. Of course, broke in with the Anaheim Ducks, played his junior hockey with the London Knights program. And certainly somebody that, like I said, could be a bottom 6 forward for them, maybe. But they've got enough guys there. We'll have to see what else that they do on this front. Jones might end up being more of a, like one of the guys that goes down to the minors, comes up as a black ace or something, depending on the playoff run. So all in all, like I said, a decent bit of business by the Oilers. Something that they might have overpaid there a little bit, but it's definitely more. It's hard to say, really. I guess we don't know how things are going to work out. Some of these deals might look really good. Sometimes they don't. Obviously, the Devils get in the mix here, retain some money. The belief is they're still looking to add. I know the Jack Hughes injury really complicates where things are at with them as well. So, again, the Devils are kind of in a unique spot there, too. But they get a prospect that they like, just for doing a small retention bit, which will eat up a little bit at their salary cap. But we'll see what happens there, because if Hughes is out for the rest of the regular season at the very least, which is more than likely at this point, they should have some flexibility cap-wise. So might as well put it to good use for the future and we'll go from there. So Fredric and Jones are Oilers for right now. We'll see what else happens here ahead of the deadline. I'll be back a little bit later recapping the rest of the day's news and rumors as we get closer to the trade deadline. So let me know your thoughts, and we'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.